In this project, we're going to build a touch-free music remote that allows you to control which song is playing and the volume of your music, all with a swipe of your hand. In order to do that, we're going to use a gesture module to build an equation connecting the different directions you swipe your hand to the volume up, volume down, next track, and previous track keyboard commands. For our remote, we're going to need a device, a gesture module, a button module, and a smartphone. We will plug the gesture module into port 4. Make sure the dot on the gesture module is lined up with the dot on the device. Open the bond menu in the top left-hand corner and scan and connect to the device. Set port 4 to a gesture module by tapping the port icon, tapping the module's menu button, and then choosing gesture. If you swipe your hand over the gesture module, you will see arrows for the different directions you swipe. The equation we're going to build for this project consists of 4 when statements, one for each direction we're going to swipe in, and we're going to connect that direction to a keyboard output. Create a new equation by tapping the new equation button or the plus icon from the equation's home page. To add the when statement, tap the add button, which is the blue button with a plus icon. Tap on the purple logic button. From the logic menu, tap when, and then swipe down or tap out to close the screen. The sentence on your equation canvas now reads, when this happens, do this. This logic sentence is going to be the basis of our entire equation. Tap the words, this happens, of your when statement to open up the input menu. Tap on gesture. We're using the direction property of the gesture module. Tap on left. Your equation should now read, when gesture is left, do this. For our output, we're going to be using keyboard commands. Keyboard commands are like any other output in our equations, except for instead of corresponding to a physical module, we send keys to a computer or a phone that we're connected to over Bluetooth. To add a keyboard output, tap on the words do this in your when statement. The keyboard output has a variety of different key codes already built in, and you can even create your own. For this project, we're going to use the media category of key codes. This is the first view within the keyboard output screen. Since this first output corresponds to the input gesture is left, we want the output to send the command previous track. Tap previous track and then tap add key code to add it to your equation. Now that we have our first when statement, we're going to repeat these same steps to create 3 other when statements connecting the other gesture directions to the other keyboard outputs. So connecting gestures right to next track, gestures up to volume up, and down to volume down. Once you have these 4 when statements, you have all the gesture controls you need for your equation. You're going to cast this equation just like you'd cast any other equation, but with one small change. Because we're using a keyboard output, once we cast this equation to the device is going to go into what we call keyboard mode. When it's in keyboard mode, you're not going to be able to connect to it through the app. Instead, you're going to connect to it like you would a normal Bluetooth keyboard or mouse. In order to reset it from keyboard mode so that you can update the equation or connect to it through the app again, you're going to have to select a reset port. During the casting process, you'll be prompted to select which port you want to use as your reset port. Make sure you don't pick a port that's being used by a module in the equation. When you want to reset your device from keyboard mode, you're going to take a button module, put it into the port you choose, and then hold it down for 5 seconds. That will set the device out of keyboard mode, and you'll be able to connect to it again from the app. Open the cast view by tapping the casting icon in the bottom right-hand corner of the equation canvas. Hit the Tap to Select Hardware text. Tap the blue Add button next to the device you want to cast onto. If it's not there, run a scan. Close the menu by tapping out of it. Now press the Cast button. When the modules screen pops up, press and then drag the modules to match the device's configuration. In this case, since we have a gesture module in port 4, we're going to drag the gesture module icon onto port 4. Once you've dragged the modules to the correct places, tap the green checkmark button. The next screen that pops up will instruct you to choose the reset port, where we're going to set a button module to enable mode switching out of keyboard mode. The button module does not have to be plugged in right now, only when you want to reset the device back to stream mode. We're going to use the default port 7. After casting your equation, the device will switch into keyboard mode. You can tell since the status light will turn orange. It will not be present in a scan from the app. To pair to the device as a keyboard, go into the Bluetooth settings in your phone or computer, just like you would if you were connecting to Bluetooth headphones or a speaker. The device will appear in your Bluetooth scan under the name Device. Click Connect. All right, now that you've connected, open your favorite music app, press play, and start swiping to control. Congrats, your music remote is ready to go. Enjoy hands-free music control with IFMagic. When you're done with your music remote and ready to exit keyboard mode, plug a button module into port 7 and hold it down for 5 seconds. You'll notice the status light turn back to white, and the device will start to appear in scans. You then must also go into your Bluetooth settings and forget the device so that you can pair it with the app.